excellence
Eala,
from Alex
2 sets to 1,
Eala.
5-7,
The
6-3,
number one
7-5.
seed, world number 37, is your Lexus Birmingham Open champion.
And the trophy will be handed out by Sarah and Maud, chair of the Edgbaston Priory Club.
The difference was visible almost immediately. Eala's footwork became sharper. Her shot selection became cleaner. Most importantly, she stopped reacting to Bartunkova's game and started imposing her own. That shift changed everything. The rallies that had been slipping away in the first set suddenly began, ending on Eala's terms. Her left-handed pattern started opening the court. Her forehand found greater depth. Her return game became far more aggressive. And Bartunkova, who had looked so comfortable for the opening hour of the match, suddenly found herself under pressure. Real pressure. The kind that forces mistakes. The kind that makes every service game feel twice as long. The second set quickly became the Alex Eala show. She broke serve. She consolidated. And for the first time all afternoon, there was daylight between the two players. Bartunkova fought hard to stay within touching distance, but Eala was relentless. Every time the Czech player threatened to make a move, the Filipina answered immediately. By the time Eala closed out the second set 6-3, the entire complexion of the final had changed. One set all. One championship set to decide everything. And that is when Birmingham witnessed the best tennis of the week. The final set was not just a battle of strokes. It was a battle of nerve, a battle of endurance, a battle of belief. Every point seemed to carry the weight of the trophy. Every game felt enormous. Neither player was willing to blink. The scoreboard moved painfully slowly. One game to Eala. One game to Bartunkova. Back and forth they went. The crowd could feel it. This was no longer just a final. This was becoming a classic. Bartunkova refused to disappear. Again and again she produced brave tennis under pressure, finding big serves and fearless winners when she needed them most. But Eala kept answering. Every challenge was met. Every surge was matched. And then came the moment that will be remembered. At 5-5 in the deciding set, with the championship hanging in the balance, Eala elevated her level one final time. The rallies grew longer. The tension grew heavier. The crowd grew quieter. You could feel everyone inside Edgbaston Priory Club holding their breath. One break. That was all it would take. And Eala found it. The breakthrough arrived at exactly the right moment. Suddenly she was serving for the championship. One game away. One final obstacle. One final test. Championship points are different. They carry every hour of practice, every sacrifice, every early morning training session, every disappointment, every dream. And standing on the baseline with the trophy within reach, Alex Eala looked remarkably calm. No panic, no hesitation, just focus. Point by point she worked her way closer. The crowd rose to its feet. Philippine flags waved from every corner of the stadium. And when the final ball landed, everything erupted. Arms raised, racket dropped. A smile that seemed to capture years of hard work in a single moment. Alex Eala was Birmingham Open champion. The final score told part of the story. 5-7, 6-3, 7-5. But the score could never fully capture what this victory meant. She had lost the first set. She had faced a dangerous opponent playing the tennis of her life. She had confronted a 0-13 record against Czech opponents. And she had overcome all of it. This was not a comfortable win. This was not a routine win. This was a champion's win. For Eala, it was her first grass court title. For Filipino tennis, it was another historic milestone. And for the rest of the WTA Tour, it was a warning. Because grass season is only just beginning. Wimbledon is around the corner. And Alex Eala is arriving with confidence, momentum, and a trophy in her hands. The Birmingham Open champion has announced herself. And the tennis world is paying attention, or she could compete. And Alex Eala chose to compete. That choice changed everything. At 4-3 in the final set, with Bartunkova threatening to pull the match back into chaos, Eala delivered some of the most composed tennis of her career. There was no panic in her movement, no hesitation in her shot-making. She trusted the patterns that had brought her to this moment and executed them with the confidence of a champion. Every point felt enormous. Every rally felt like it could determine the outcome of the tournament. The crowd knew it. Bartunkova knew it. And Eala certainly knew it. But instead of shrinking under the pressure, she seemed to grow stronger. The games became tighter. The tension became heavier. And suddenly the scoreboard read 5-5. One mistake could decide everything. One lapse in concentration could send the trophy in the opposite direction. For years, moments like this had belonged to other players. For years, the Philippines had watched Grand Slam champions and top stars battle for the biggest prizes in tennis while dreaming of one day seeing a Filipina standing among them. Now that dream was standing on center court in Birmingham with a racket in her hand. And she was not finished. Eala dug deep and produced the tennis that champions produce when championships are within reach. She broke Bartunkova at the most critical moment of the match. The roar from the crowd echoed across Edgbaston Priory Club. The finish line was suddenly in sight. One game for the title. One game for history. One game to become Birmingham Open champion. Championship games are never easy. They never feel routine. The scoreboard may say one game remains, but mentally it can feel like 10. Bartunkova fought desperately to extend the match. Every point carried the urgency of survival. Every shot carried the weight of a week's worth of work. But Eala remained locked in, focused, determined, unwavering. And when the final point arrived, the release was instant. Arms in the air, a smile breaking across her face, a look of disbelief mixed with joy. Alex Eala had done it. Final score, 5-7, 6-3, 7-5. From a set down, against a Czech opponent, in a pressure-filled championship match, on a surface that many once believed would take years for her to master. The significance of this victory goes far beyond a single trophy. This was Eala's first professional grass court title. This was proof that her game translates to every surface. This was confirmation that her rise into the world's elite is not temporary. And perhaps most importantly, this was a statement arriving just weeks before Wimbledon. Because confidence in tennis is a powerful thing. Momentum is powerful. Belief is powerful. And Alex Eala now possesses all three. She leaves Birmingham with a trophy. She leaves Birmingham with ranking points. She leaves Birmingham with the respect of the entire tour. But most importantly, she leaves Birmingham knowing something that every great champion eventually discovers. She belongs. Not as an outsider. Not as a surprise story. Not as a promising young player. She belongs as a contender. The grass court season continues. Wimbledon awaits. The brightest lights in tennis are about to come on. And standing beneath them will be a 21-year-old Filipina carrying the confidence of a champion and the hopes of an entire nation. The dream is still alive. In fact, after Birmingham, it feels closer than ever. Because Alexandra Eala is no longer arriving at Wimbledon hoping to make an impact. She is arriving with a title in her hands and a message for the rest of the field. The future is here. And it might just be wearing Philippine colors.